A quick show of hands. How many of you have seen significant change in the last 3 to 5 years in your organization or in your own career? I see some out. We need to be worried. There's some people that didn't raise their hands. We need to call 911 because everything is changing out there. As we can see, change has become a major portion of our work world. Today, I want to focus on change and the benefits of developing resiliency in dealing with it. Whether it's GASB, the SEC, the pension naysayers, the federal government looking at tax reform that would either limit or eliminate our tax-exempt debt or preempting our taxing authority, GFOA has consistently taken a leadership role in issues and topics that impact our organization and is tenacious in keeping our 18,000 members informed and ready to respond when changes are on the horizon. An area of focus where I've spent considerable time in the past several years is in this area of resilience. Let me provide some context of why I feel it's very important. One piece of it is in the finance area, the evolution of our fiscal sustainability efforts. In 2001, Tim Grew, president of GFOA, stated in his speech the need to incorporate sustainability into the everyday aspects of our organization. It was the first time that I'd heard it used in a context other than just using recycled paper. Oh, it was so much more. By 2009, a lot had changed. I was fortunate enough to be one of the instructors for a GFOA pre-conference seminar on sustainability. One morning, I happened to notice Tim having breakfast in the same dining room. I'd never met him, but I wanted to tell him how his introduction to sustainability had become an entryway to a major portion of the work of my work in Boulder. His reply was that it was good to hear. He didn't know if anyone was listening. Tim, we were. What is resilience? Is it the same as sustainability? Short answer, no, it is not. Sustainability is about stability and maintaining what we have, while resilience is about elasticity and agility in being able to adapt and bounce back from acute shocks, like economic downturns and natural disasters, or chronic stresses, such as homelessness and transportation, that will have and continue to occur to bring a disruption to our organizations. So building a resilient organization is not a new flavor of the month management scheme. For me, the financial aspects are evolution, not revolution. That is, we need to build on our already solid foundation of best practices. How does it apply specifically to our world of finance? Let me tell you about a couple of great resources. First, read Shane Kavanaugh's exceptional white paper on building a financially resilient organization. It's located at the GFOA.org website. It talks about having more than one way to bounce back, and you can bounce back quickly when there's trouble. Several of your peer organizations are already incorporating in concepts. It's covered in their long-range financial planning classes that we teach for GFOA. In January, there was a webinar that was offered on it. And second, we're holding a concurrent session tomorrow morning at 8:30. So show up and you can learn about what it is, how it can be used, and how you can implement it in your organization. For some organizations and proponents, it is only about recovering from disaster. I've learned over time that view is way too narrow. Instead, it can become integrated and become an embedded aspect of everything we do in our organizations. It should become a part of our master plans, our strategic plans, our goals, our values, our policies, our best practices, our hiring practices, evaluation, succession planning, and the list goes on. By doing so, it becomes a part of our organization. We make it the equivalent of the nucleotides that make up our own personal DNA. In Boulder, we've been incorporating resilient strategies in our long-range fiscal planning for several years. It has made us look broader, and it has made us look deeper. In December of this past year, Boulder was one of 33 cities on 6 continents selected to participate in the first group of Rockefeller Foundation's 100 Resilient City program. What an opportunity this has been to incorporate fiscal resilience from day one and not have it added as an afterthought when someone finally asks, well, what role is finance going to play in this? When we are asked to be leaders for such entity-wide projects, such as resilience, we need to be a fully engaged finance department. To me, an engaged finance department is one contrasted with an isolated or neutralized finance department where we are at the most considered to be the financial police officers and only known for our technical skills. Engaged is our target and hopefully our sweet spot. When engaged, you and your entire department are considered an important member of the leadership team, your input is valued, and you are asked to help address major issues and problems, not just finance issues. We should be more than the financial police department. We should be known for our leadership skills and our willingness to be partners or team members instead of the department that always says no. Or at the least, we need to be tactful and diplomatic in the way we say no, while providing alternative ways for people to solve their problems. We have the knowledge, the skills, the talent to be part of the team that helps direct and steer our organizations. We can role model what an engaged finance department is. We need to do this for our own staff members, our organizations, and we need to be willing to share it with others in our state and provincial organizations and through GFOA. No matter how good we feel our skills are, we are always looking for ways to improve ourselves and help our peers cope with the new financial realities that we face. I feel there is no better organization to do this than GFOA. If you have peers who are not members, show them how the GFOA can help them become even better than they are now. As we already know, there are many ways to do this: conferences, training programs, webinars, publications, the CPFO program, the awards program, and the list goes on. Staff development and succession planning are not just making sure our staff members attend classes, that they continue to improve their technical skills, but it's also helping them to develop and expand their competencies that they are going to need to be successful professionals and the leaders of government finance in the future. We need to help them learn to deal with paradox, ambiguity, self-awareness, and to become organizationally agile. These are the primary skills needed by the financial leaders of tomorrow. I've spent the last 9 years working in a wonderful city. Boulder is a great place for me to be at this point in my career. There are always large and challenging projects going on, and that was even before we had recreational marijuana. As an aside, I must tell you, I never thought at this point in my career that I would be making revenue projections on how much marijuana can be inhaled or how many marijuana-induced products can be ingested by a university city during a year. I must say, I give pause whenever I pick up a brownie at a reception nowadays. You should do the same if you come to Denver in 2017 for the GFOA conference. Now that we've had our consideration of a mellow moment, let's move along. There are some very special people who have had a major impact on my life personally and professionally, and I want to take a moment or two to thank them. I want to give a sincere thanks, a thankful message to my wife, Becky, who's been my best friend and my anchor for over 40 years, and to our son, Jordan, who will complete his master's in accounting this fall. A great big thank you. A great big thank you to everyone at the City of Boulder, especially City Manager Jane Grodigam, who supported us as we have become a very totally engaged finance department. And she has also been extremely supportive of my position with GFOA. A very special thank you to my fellow members at Colorado GFOA. We've traveled many a road together and went from a struggling group of 60 to over 600. And what a wonderful journey it has been and continues to be. To Jeff Esser and all of the GFOA staff, I cannot thank you enough or say enough good things about how much you have done and continue to do for us. You all rock. To my fellow board members and members of the present and past, you've helped us take this and make a great organization. Last year in San Francisco, I was talking to Paul Macklem. Paul is one of our past presidents and a person that I greatly respect. We were discussing that both of us feel that we are very ordinary people who have been provided with this extraordinary opportunity to be president of GFOA. To be standing here today in front of you, Paul, I think it's beyond extraordinary. For me, to have the opportunity to be a government finance professional has been a calling. not just a job or work to fill my days. I really, really, really enjoy what we do. In our own reflective and analytical ways, we take a theory and we make it into reality. When we find resilient and sustainable ways to fund the services that our entities provide, or to implement a new program, or find a way to pay for capital projects, then we have helped improve someone's life. For me, and I hope for you, there is no greater reward that could be bestowed on us than to know that we have made a positive difference in our communities. I certainly look forward to my time as president as GFOA, but what I look forward to the most is meeting many of you and our peers who are not here today. So if you see me in the hallways, please come up and say hello. I hope you'll be in Philadelphia with us next year. Bring along a friend or a peer who has not attended previously so they can see what an exceptional, professional organization GFOA is, especially in this ever-changing, dynamic, and at times rather crazy world of finance and leadership. Thank you.